I'll give you two updates. Number one is going to be the tank, Merkava tank, and then we'll also give you an update about the strike close to Russian airbase in Syria, and we'll talk about how IDF right now they're struggling, they're fighting the fighters from Hezbollah and from Iraqi resistance forces. So not only that they have struck this Merkava tank, Hezbollah also fired missiles at IDF chopper. The one, especially the one that was trying to rescue those dead bodies, looks like, but they have also forced these choppers to retreat because of the intense firing from Hezbollah against those choppers. Now, Hezbollah claims to have destroyed 3 Merkava tanks near a major base in Lebanon, because Merkava tanks are now being used in Lebanon. Dead and wounded were reported among the Israeli tank crews after the attack. There are casualties coming from these attacks. Hezbollah states the attack was in support of the Palestinian people and for the people of Lebanon, who are now under attack by Israel. Hezbollah fighters used guided missiles to destroy the tanks on October 2nd, 2024. So that happened yesterday. Guided missiles were used. Hezbollah claims air defense units fired a missile at an Israeli helicopter over Beit Hilal. Helicopter was forced to leave the area. No further flights reported. So again, you can see that IDF is coming under tremendous attack because of the Hezbollah attack on their tanks and also on their choppers. So in other words, Hezbollah is targeting any and every Israeli military weapon. Hezbollah targeted and IDF gathering in Metula orchards with artillery and missile fire. If you do not know, Metula is the is a place that is close to Israel and Lebanon border. And so when these people, or I should say the IDF personnel, they were gathering there for maybe a meeting or something of that sort, they come under attack by Hezbollah. Now, Hezbollah claims to have hit Israeli forces in Metula orchards directly. These attacks are coming directly. Explosive device was detonated against an Israeli infantry unit attempting to infiltration in the area. Now, Hezbollah reports casualties among advancing Israeli military force after the explosion. Hezbollah is now reporting the casualties. The timing is very interesting of the reports because their IDF is in Lebanon, we do not have to rely on IDF statement. Hezbollah and the Lebanese media, they are now reporting to us. IDF reports the death of 8 soldiers in southern Lebanon that I have already mentioned, reported in my other video that happened on October 2nd. Eagles commandos were killed. Eagles, E-G-O-S, Eagles, in a gun battle with Hezbollah operatives. There are ground battle, fighting with guns, and then anti-tank missiles are also being used. So you can imagine that this is a war that Hezbollah is trying to win and prevent with all their mights and everything they have in their arsenal. Now, just to give you a few things about this Merkava tank, why it is so important, because they have lost 3 of them. The Merkava tank is a series of main battle tanks used by the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, and the backbone of the IDF's armored corps. This tank was in service in 1979 when they started developing it in 1970. Again, Merkava tank, Israel take a lot of pride in this. Now let's talk about something else, shall we? And that is this one. So right now, because the Zionists, they are trying to spread the war. They want to start a World War III if they can, because these are lunatics. They don't look for a solution to the war. They actually create more war. And this is who they are. They are people of war, these warmongers. And also at the same time, the military complex in US, they make a lot of money, so they have no problem waging these wars. Now, this region is called Tanf. Tanf is a military base that you're seeing on the screen. This is a military base where all of the coalition forces, they have stationed their military assets in Syria. So Tanf is in Syria. This was not under attack. What came under attack is this other military base, which is SYED. And this one was targeted, actually SYED was targeted by the Iran-backed militias in Iraq. And US right now, they are losing it completely because they were not expecting this to come their way. This, attacks, they were not expecting it. Now, these are some of the military bases in Syria. Coalition force bases that you see on the screen. These UK, European countries, Russia, US, all of these countries, they have their military bases in and around this area. Now, US military bases in Iraq, you can take a look at this map. This is what the Iraqi resistance force, they are threatening US with if they support Israel to retaliate against Iran. Therefore, there will be, in other words, no US bases in Iraq if US is helping Zionists to fight Iran and to retaliate. Now, Israel, they have conducted strikes near the Syrian coast this morning with explosives reported in the vicinity of the Russian-operated. I want to actually show you the article here, so maybe you can read with me. Russian-operated Khmeimim, I think that's how we say it, Khmeimim Air Base near the city in Latakia at the stage. It's not clear if the Russian airfield was actually hit deliberately or otherwise, which would be a first. Either way, however, the attacks represent a notable escalation in terms of Israel's willingness to prosecute targets that are very close to this key Russian military facility in Syria, and a major point of pride for Moscow. Now, major point of pride for Moscow. What does it basically mean? It basically means that right now the Israelis, they're so willing to fight and escalate it to perhaps World War III that they do not care if a Russian air base is close to this Syrian air base or Iraqi or Iranian air base. They don't care. All they care is targeting these bases, even if that means targeting Russian forces. Now, the U.S. presence there is something we have to talk about. So U.S. is in Syria since 2014, September 22nd, when the civil war started in Syria. Obama in 2010, he put sanction on Syria, but then militarily they got involved in 2014. The interesting thing is that U.S. is still there in Syria for really no reason. This is an occupation, and Donald Trump, he made it clear that U.S. should be there in order to get the oil from Syria. So it's kind of like, looting the country, and Trump doesn't even feel any shame that they are now stealing other people's natural resources. The excuse for U.S. to be in Syria, why? Because they want to support the Syrian rebel forces fighting al-Assad, and also support the Syrian Kurdish Democratic Party that is again fighting Assad. And also we know the Kurdish, they are also involved in escalation with Turkey at the same time, and Turkey raised a lot of objections against this support of US to this Kurdish group in Syria. But nevertheless, these are the excuses that US gave when it comes to their presence in Syria. But we know why they are there. It is not because of the protection of the Syrian people or to support those rebel groups. It is actually to pump more oil and export it to United States. Initial accounts from Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a UK-based information office, described attacks in the coastal Latakia province with targets including an ammunition warehouse said to be near Jabula city. I'm not going to be mentioning you all of these details because I don't think you'll understand all of this name of the places in Syria, and we do not need to discuss about that either. But right now, guys, US is coming under attack, and we have another report that said that Joe Biden administration, they're holding meetings and discussions, quote unquote discussions, to contain Israel's response, even though they're not saying that we're trying to contain it, but they are holding a lot of meetings in order for this war to end or to be managed before it gets out of control. Because again, if this oil fields in Iran gets targeted by Israel, you can imagine Israel will destroy Saudi Arabia's oil fields. Iran will destroy Jordanian, Qatar, Kuwait, all of these oil fields. All of this will be within their range. So if Iran doesn't have oil production, they will say nobody can have it, and therefore there will be a global crisis, and we might fall into a famine or mass starvation, and there will be World War III very, very soon. So US is right now trying their best to contain this war. Now, this guy, Boris Johnson, and Netanyahu, they met in 2017. I want to make this final point, or actually final comment about this particular incident and of this video, which is that in 2017 they met. So this is the photo. Okay, they're shaking hands. You can see from outside that they're very good friends. Netanyahu is with him, and they're in the UK London office. I believe that happened on February 6, 2017. All of a sudden, Netanyahu said to Boris Johnson, hey, I need to use your washroom. So he used the washroom. He went to the washroom and he planted a listening device. Who planted it? Nobody else but Netanyahu himself, Prime Minister of Israel. This is how desperate, this is how narcissist they are. Can you imagine a prime minister going to a washroom and planting a device of prime minister of a country, even though this is occupied Palestine, we all know that. Nevertheless, this is what they want us to believe. But then at the same time, the way they behave is not the behavior of a prime minister in any way, shape, or form. This guy is a monster. We know that he committed this genocide, but he is also a thief. He is a spy. He took up this job, this opportunity to plant a device in Boris Johnson's washroom. Like, are you kidding me? But guys, this is the report we have right now, that Boris Johnson, he himself, he mentioned, Boris Johnson hints Netanyahu left a listening device in his bathroom during 2017 visit. So this is coming in times of Israel. What a shame. These people are absolutely lunatics and dangerous, mentally ill, mentally challenged, and all they care is about killing people and committing genocide more and more. If you have any more comments, leave a comment in the comment section. I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful